Hi, welcome to this video. My name is Eva, and in this video I talk about the different personality types according to Meyer Briggs Personality types, and it's a super interesting concept that helps me so much to understand myself more, understand my environment, the world as a whole more when it comes to people. So a very, very interesting framework. It's based on the theory of Carl Jung of categorizing people in different personality traits, and yeah, it's very, very interesting. And also a short disclaimer, I mean, it's very complex, and this is just what I've learned, what really helped me. And based on this theory of Meyer Briggs personality types, you can categorize people in different categories based on certain factors, such as the first one is introversion versus extroversion. So introverted people, they recharge with time alone and being able to reflect, and extroversion is more being energized by interaction with others. Then you have the second one, sensing versus intuition. So sensing is more focusing on concrete present details, and intuition is more focusing on abstract patterns, ideas, and future possibilities. Then we have thinking versus feeling. So thinking is making decisions more based on logic and objective principles, versus feeling is more making decisions based on personal values and empathy. And the last category is judging versus perceiving. So judging is more preferring structure, organization, and planning, and perceiving is preferring flexibility, spontaneity, and adaptability. And those are 4 different categories how you can categorize people, and it's super, super fascinating. There's a test online that you can do, it's for free, and for me it helped me so much. Like, I would highly recommend to do it and to learn about those personality type, and to learn also about your own personality type, because for me it helped me so much to gain more self-awareness about who I am and why I do things the way that I do. Because for example, for me, I was growing up and really thinking sometimes, why am I the way that I do? Like, for example, I'm very extroverted, so it just helped me so much to understand myself more. And also it can help me, at least for me, because right now I'm in this phase in my life where I'm questioning a lot when it comes to my career. What is a career that I like? What is success for me? What is a career that I find enjoyable? And I'm still in this phase where I'm experimenting and where I'm kind of like getting to know myself, because it's so important to get to know yourself in order to lead an authentic life. Because if you don't know who you are and what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy, it's so much easier to do a job, for example, that you don't really like, and then you're unhappy. And so for me that was the case. So it's really important for me also to get to know myself, understand how I think, how I function, so that I can actually create a life that works better for me, that makes me happier. So that can be so important. And also what I love about this personality traits, is Meyer Briggs personality types, is that it can also enhance communication within relationships. Because I know if I get to know myself even more, and I get to understand what is important for me, because for example, for me, I'm an ENFG, so I'm a protagonist. So for me it's very important to have a certain structure, and I'm also very empathetic. I love to communicate, I love to be close with a partner. So for me it's really important to have that closeness. So I'm not compatible with certain other personality types that are, for example, very spontaneous, or that want to have a lot more space and a lot more freedom, with like freedom, quote unquote, in a relationship. But I really enjoy more closeness. And so it's really important, or it was really mind-blowing for me to understand those personality types when it comes to romantic relationships as well. Because also my boyfriend, he's a certain personality pattern or personality, and it was so cool to understand, okay, this is his personality, and how we can work together as to those personality types. And it helped so much. Like, understanding those personality types gave me so much advice, which was really, really, really helpful. And I think also, just if you have a family, probably every family member has a different personality type, so it can clash to conflicts, because maybe one person is maybe more, has a more like it makes decision more on facts, versus the other person makes decisions more based on intuition, on like emotion in a way, so it can clash. So it's really helpful to learn those different personality traits to be able to communicate and to find a kind of like common ground in a way. And yeah, and also I think for like if you have maybe a team, to be able to understand, okay, what is which personality type, because if you put one personality type, for example someone who's more like me, who's more kind of feeling, and you put me into a job position which is very repetitive, where I cannot grow, I cannot learn, I get very depressed, and that happened to me. And so if I learn about myself, I can understand, okay, this is really important for me, so I need to go in a different job or in a different career path where I can grow, where I can learn, continuously learn, where I have maybe also, for me it's very important to have a purpose, like helping other people. So yeah, very helpful, also for like teamwork. And yeah, so now the different personality types, there are 16 personality types in general based on those 4 categories that I mentioned before. So we have the first group is kind of the strategic and logical thinkers, quote unquote. I mean, I'm not in that group, and I still make decisions that are logical. So I don't want to say, oh, it's the only group who are like logical. No, but I also make decisions based on on kind of my emotions, my values, like so. So yeah, you already see like those categories. It's not definitive. Like it's not, okay, you're that category, so that's you, and you can never change. But it's just more. It should help you. The same as like attachment styles can help you. Personality traits can help you, and yeah, so more helpful to see it that way. So the first group is strategic and logical thinkers, also called the analysts, and then you have the architect. That's a person who is very imaginative, strategic thinkers, and they have a plan, and they need a plan for everything. Then you have the logician. They are very innovative, curious, and focused on big ideas. Then you have the ENTG, which is the commander. He's very bold leaders who excels at organizing and managing. Then you have the debater, which is quick-witted and resourceful. They love debating and problem solving. Then you go to the second group. I'm in the second group, which is empathetic and visionary. They're called the diplomats. And then you have the advocate. They're more quiet, idealistic, and deeply principled visionaries. Then you have the mediator, which is poetic, kind-hearted dreamers seeking harmony. Then you have the protagonist, that's me, so charismatic leaders who inspire and guide others. And then you have the campaigner, they're enthusiastic and creative, always looking for possibilities. And then you have the kind of the practical and reliable organizers, with the first one, the logistician, who's responsible, detail-oriented, and dependable. Then you have the defender, which is my boyfriend, and they're very like loyal and caring and focused on protecting others, which is so true for my boyfriend. And then you have the executive, which is organized and confident leaders. They excel at managing. And then you have the consul. They're warm-hearted and social. They focus on helping others. And the last group is kind of the spontaneous and the flexible ones. Like that's those people who would go, for example, oh, let's go on, like tomorrow on a hiking trip, or oh, let's go next week to climb a mountain, or whatever it is. So they're really spontaneous and they just do it in a way. So you have the virtuoso, which practical experimenters, they love working with tools. Then you have the adventurer. They are artistic and sensitive, and they enjoy exploring new experiences. So for example, those people who are like full-time traveling for a couple of years could be that type. Then you have the entrepreneur, which is bold and resourceful, and they thrive on action and excitement. So very often a type of person, they have a more fast-paced life. They like to experience a lot. And the entertainer is fun-loving and energetic. focus on living in the moment. So these are all the different types, and as you can see, quite different types. Again, there's like this free test that you can do on the internet. I would highly recommend to do it, because yeah, for me it was just so mind-changing to really. I will make another video in which I explain the type that I am, so the protagonist, and go into like all the details about that type. Because yeah, it just helped me so much, because before that I was a little bit confused, at least when it came to careers, what specifically it is that I want. Because for example, I started this like online business, but I was really unhappy, and the reason that I was unhappy was because there was not enough how do you say, not enough contact with customers, not enough contact with people, because I'm such a people person. I need to have that engagement with people. I love group settings as well. So in that online business I was working very lonely. I was very lonely. So and that can help so much to understand, okay, who am I as a person? What is my character trait? What is important to me? And then you can make changes. Like for example, now I can say, okay, how can I, if I want to continue with that business model, how I can shift that business model so that I can have more contact with people, either go more to co-working spaces, have more client work, have maybe team members, hire people, so that I can make it more dynamic and more engaging with other people. So that helped so much. And because also what is really important for me to understand is, because also probably before that I was sometimes a little bit like wanting to be like other people, so like looking up to certain people who are maybe very logical, quote unquote, or like who are very pragmatic in a way, or who just do things. And then I was like, oh, why can I not be like that? Or for example, my boyfriend, he's like very can I say emotionally stable, but just very reliable, very stable. And I was sometimes like, oh, I want to be more like that. But in the end, what I've learned from this like Meyer Briggs personality type is that each person has their own personality type, and that is so beautiful. And each person has kind of quote unquote pros and cons, or like challenges and benefits, kind of. Like for example, for me, I'm a people person, but at the same time, like if I'm alone, I get quite lonely, and I get like quite low in a way. So it's really about, at least for me, to create an authentic life that works for you. I really want to focus and accept myself for who I am, and be like, okay, each personality is amazing in their own ways, and to make the best out of your personality. So like to put myself in an environment that works for me. So because I think that's what I tried in some ways. For example, when I was in a certain job where it was not right for me, because it was probably more for introverted people, I was still trying to make it work, and it was not working. So instead, to shift and to be like, okay, how I can maybe switch in a different role that is more people oriented for me, and to change the environment. Don't try to change yourself, because it's not possible, because then we just get depressed. But change really the environment. The same for maybe if you're an introvert and you're in an extrovert kind of workplace, and it just puts out all the energy from you, and it's really important to change the environment. And of course, it's amazing if we can heal, and we can, for example, also challenges that I have according to my personality type is that I struggle with perfectionism, and or like more people pleasing, and that's of course something I want to heal, and I want to kind of grow from that. But still, yeah, it was a beautiful learning lesson for me, that comes from understanding those personality type, that each personality is great in their own ways. And it's really just about changing the environment, really. So that was the video for today. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching, and see you in one of my next videos. See you soon.